When health plans face challenges, Diversified Group provides solutions. And solutions are what you'll find when you tune in to Healthcare Uncensored Live, our podcast series that tackles the tough stuff employers are facing today. To join us, visit dgb-online.com and click on podcasts.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Healthcare Uncensored Live, our podcast brought to you by Diversified Group. I'm Brooks Goodison, president of Diversified Group, and we're an independent third-party administrator for group health plans located in Marlborough, Connecticut, which is just outside of Hartford. And today's topic is eligibility. Now, please don't stop listening right now. Eligibility is a big deal. It's a little bit boring, but it's a big deal for self-insured group health plans. And it's a headache often for human resource directors, and it's a challenge that if it's not dealt with correctly can cost your health plan a ton of money. So, managing enrollment and eligibility may sound like a little thing, but these things add up. And especially when you've missed terminations, they can end up with costly claims to your health plan that could have and should have been completely avoided. Missing, incorrect, or late information about eligibility can lead to mistaken interpretation of coverage, a lack of coverage, and denied claims or incorrect participant information. These can lead to overbilling, underbilling, or worse yet, over-obligating your plan by allowing an invalid member to linger on the plan or enroll in COBRA for 18 months or longer. One big example that anybody could look up that happened in Hartford, and Diversified was not involved with this particular story, but I think it captures the issue perfectly. The results of an eligibility audit that was done at the Hartford Board of Education in Hartford, Connecticut, revealed that more than $1 million in health benefits were paid out for treatments of former spouses who were no longer eligible to be on the plan. In the article, which was in the Hartford Courant, stated that former spouses remain on the school district's health plan for as long as 15 years after they should have been terminated. More than $700,000 in benefits were received by one, and an additional $420,000 in benefits were paid out for 21 other ineligibles. The article concluded that civil litigation and recovery of the funds paid out would likely be impossible because of the statute of limitations and all of the associated legal costs with pursuing criminal charges. So, while few cases gain this type of attention, the Hartford Public Schools experience, the dollars involved they're all very quite common, especially when you consider the increasing frequency of high dollar claims. So, at Diversified, we believe that not all TPAs are alike when it comes to managing eligibility. And how do we avoid situations like this in the first place? Some TPAs often accept existing data in order to make enrollment, especially for a new group, easier. We get asked to do it all the time. And Diversified Group, we really go the extra step when onboarding a new self-insured group to help a client do enrollment properly. We help clients manage enrollment and eligibility functions by using a technology called BenefitReady, and our company reinforces the technology with knowledge and years of experience in health plan administration. We know where the pitfalls are, and we like to do whatever we possibly can to help you avoid that in the first place. So together with our clients and their brokers, we help self-insured groups ensure that benefits are available only to those employees and dependents who are eligible. So our goal here is to help health plans avoid big dollar claim problems that they aren't responsible for. We dedicate a lot of time, energy, and effort in checking into the circumstances surrounding employees who terminate their coverage under the plan. We study the language in the plan document first because there can be plenty of confusion. We see it all the time between termination of coverage and termination of employment. And if anyone works with us, they know they can call us and call our experts at any time to ask questions. We're here to help, so you're not alone in trying to figure this stuff out. So members can fail to qualify for the plan's eligibility without terminating their employment. Some of the circumstances that can cause a member to no longer be eligible include, for example, disability, workman's compensation claims, perhaps there's a leave of absence or a reduction of hours. Those are some of the more common. And I think it's important to know that paying claims that they shouldn't. So if a plan pays a claim on an ineligible person that it should have never paid it on, it's a cost that affects everybody. So these claims are probably 70%, 80% of the total plan cost. And if we're paying claims that we shouldn't, all of your employees, their paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, however you take payroll contributions to be on the health plan, that money is a portion of the healthcare cost. So if the plan is overspending or spending inappropriately, the people's paychecks are smaller because they have to pay more money to be on the health plan. And that's just how it affects the members, right? So I think if the members who were rightfully on the plan understood that the plan was paying for claims for people that were ineligible, they wouldn't be very happy either. On top of that, the employer is paying more money than they should. And I have yet to meet an employer who would like to pay more money than they should for a group health plan, okay? So the whole point here is the plan is there for a reason, to provide good benefits for the people that work for you and their families, and no one else. So let's take a look at a few of the more common termination pitfalls. There's plenty of these. You don't have to remember them all. Our team is here to help you sort through any questions you might have. So here we go. Dependents. Dependents are no longer eligible for a parent's coverage when they reach the age of 26. Your plan document will explain the actual coverage end date, and it must be adhered to. So that's an important one. The next one, divorce. This can be tough because in many cases, the employer is forced to rely on the member's notification. Without timely notice, an ex-spouse can be left on a plan, and the error may not be discovered until a claim is filed with stop loss. That's not when you want to find that out. It's important that members know that if they get divorced, they need to let HR know. So workers' compensation claims are another concern because they often result in a reduction of hours worked, which certainly can trigger a COBRA event. In addition to that, employees who are left on the plan but not actively working can be flagged when a stop-loss claim is filed. The next one is leave of absence. This is probably one of the more tricky. When it comes to leaves of absence, again, the plan document is critical. The FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, requires continuation of coverage for up to 12 weeks, and in some states now require paid leave, including continuation of coverage. If this time ends and the employee hasn't yet returned to work, they must be offered COBRA as a basis for continued eligibility. Okay, that's very important. So we just covered a bunch of areas where we see common errors. And again, don't hesitate to reach out to the Diversified team who can help you with all of this. Another way to take good care of your enrollment is at the time of enrollment. So rather than just take a data feed from a data service or just give us a list of people who are already on your plan, at the time of enrollment, if you're coming to Diversified for the first time, or best practices every 2 to 3 years to do a full re-enrollment so that we don't miss anything that we don't know, like these divorces. At that point, you're going to take the opportunity to get the eligibility right the first time. So what we're going to do is take the right measures at the enrollment, where they will enable us to prevent these costly problems as we go down the line. And we help our clients with enrollment and onboarding at renewal, and we make sure that the enrollment forms are filled out completely every year, whether they be paper enrollment forms or online. Everyone's different. Some people still love the paper. Some people prefer it online. Whichever way it's done, as long as this process is taken care of, it helps to ensure that the right people are on your plan. And during that process, we verify any events such as marriage, divorce, birth or an adoption. And we make sure we have all the associated paperwork to prove that those things are, in fact, true. Because these are events that can impact eligibility, and we like to administer COBRA in addition to the health plan whenever possible. So we're saying that not only do we want to manage the enrollment, I think for a self-insured plan that it's important that the TPA also administer the COBRA so that the eligibility can be maintained properly from while they're on the employees, rather while they're on the plan as an employee, all the way through the COBRA eligibility period to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. At the start of the podcast, we talked about eligibility being a little thing. Well, we really misspoke when we said this because not only are we talking about controlling plan costs, but every plan administrator has a fiduciary duty to manage their self-funded health plan in a way that serves the best interest of the plan participants and its beneficiaries. Fiduciary duty is the ultimate responsibility, and there's a lot of legal issues that are associated with it, so you want to take fiduciary responsibility very serious. When eligibility issues are ignored, mistakes can happen. And when mistakes happen, the plan's resources are often used to benefit individuals who are not active plan members. And this can be viewed as a failure to execute your duty as a fiduciary, and that kind of failure can be very costly. So, while life will always present challenges for HR directors, managing eligibility at the time of enrollment and tracking terminations consistently are two important ways Diversified Group helps self-insured plans avoid the risks and costs associated with ineligibles. And we're here with all our experience to help you manage this properly. So, as we learned from the Hartford Board of Education audit, a lack of controls lead to more than $1 million in health benefits paid to ineligible dependents. And the board has no way to recover those expenditures. Once again, I hope that we made some of you aware of the importance of managing eligibility and enrollment. Eligibility can be kind of boring, but we're trying to make it exciting here because it's really big and it helps people to save money on their health insurance. So if your plan is struggling with eligibility headaches, give me a call at 860-295-2376. And if you'd like to share this podcast with a colleague or broker, visit our website at dgb-online.com and click on podcasts. I hope you learned a little something that you can apply to your health plan today, and I thank you for joining us.
To learn more about self-funding, cost-plus pricing, and many other ways Diversified Group is helping employers better manage the risks and costs of employee health care, visit us at dgb-online.com today.